All right, good night, everybody. Here we are again with another episode or another show for Ireland fans, and we have a special for you guys tonight. We have an Arsenal show, the pre-match build-up for the Arsenal show. So, I mean, I'm here with Joe, I'm here with Jamal. We're gonna go through some facts, some figures about the upcoming game. What we really want to go through towards the end of the show is our predicted lineups. And from what these guys sent me, I already see we're going to have a bit of a controversy as we go through the night. All right, let me leave that one until we go. All right, so guys, let's start off here. What's up, guys? Let me just start here. What's up with you? What's up, Joe?
Oh, good.
Jamal, what is it?
Yeah, we're all right. I'm a bit faded right now, but we good. Friday.
It's Friday night. It's Friday night. Friday night. Jamal is what, 4 hours ahead of us, so we'll excuse Jamal. All we have to say, Jamal, open your eyes. Open your eyes. All right. So we have more early and bright, more in the comments, more you see there. All right, big up yourself, more. Here we are now. Let's look at this, guys. Burnley are trying to do the double over Arsenal for the first time since the 1962-63 season. And I think that we can remember in our first game at the Emirates this season, the game where Xhaka got sent off and Aubameyang scored that own goal. We all remember that dreadful day.
Of course. Yeah, we definitely.
Hopefully we don't repeat. There's not a repeat of that. But Arsenal are unbeaten in our last 8 away games against Burnley, and we have won Arsenal have won 4 of their last 6 away games in the Premier League. Let's just continue here. Burnley have just 2 wins from their last 10 games, and they have also conceded 5 goals in their last 2 games. And we can remember last week, I think it was last week Sunday they conceded 4 to our North London rivals in Tottenham. I'm hoping that Burnley don't try to turn into prime Barcelona tomorrow. I'm just hoping that they don't turn into prime Barcelona tomorrow. Let's continue. In our last 6 games against Burnley, we have outscored them by an aggregate score of 13-4. However, we haven't scored against Burnley in our last 2 games. So we are 180 minutes without scoring a goal against Burnley. If we are to fix this, guys, let's start with Jamal. How are we going to fix this tomorrow?
It's got to come from midfield as well. I do think the midfield selection will be crucial in this game. We need to control that midfield, in which in previous games Burnley has overrun us in that sort of space. I think in the first leg of this, you could say the first leg, but the first game where we played them, I think they just overran us in midfield. We just didn't have enough in midfield. I think it was just Xhaka alone at that point, and I'm not sure who was playing beside him, but that player
maybe.
More than likely would have been Elneny. I don't think
I think it was Elneny because Partey was still injured.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think we had enough to trouble them in midfield, and that's the problem. And I know we've fixed that in recent times, in which Elneny coming back and Ceballos having a run in the team as well. But Xhaka can't do it by himself. So I do think that partnership will be crucial in this game. But also in that first leg, for sure, we didn't have a central attacking midfielder. I think that was the point where we were going through a rough patch and not converting or not transferring the play from midfield to the attacking midfielder to the striker properly. And now that we have someone or 2 players in that role, you could say, is Odegaard and Smith Rowe. I don't think Smith Rowe is going to be available for this game, but with Odegaard available, we can transfer that play forward to the strikers as well. So I do think that midfield as a whole will be crucial in this game.
Right. Before I go to Joe, let me just Jason Moore, and thank you for joining us tonight. He's saying Burnley is going to defend a lot. All right. And Joe, what I want to ask you is, yes, we know they're going to defend a lot, but like Jamal says, he has to come from the midfield. And in the two past games we haven't been able to score. So how can we have the better quality player? Let's not kid ourselves. We
Definitely.
have the better quality
Without a
player.
doubt.
How can we now transfer the quality that's on paper to the pitch, even though they're going to defend a lot?
Well, it's simple enough because if you think back, right, a lot of the games, it's not a case where we weren't creating chances. It was a case of us not. At the beginning, it was a case where we weren't creating chances, right? We weren't getting shots off. We weren't getting balls to the striker. Then we went from that to us creating chances, but not scoring any, right?
Right.
But for the last, let's say, 4 to 5 games, we've actually started to put the ball into the back of the net. All right. For example, that game against Leeds, had we not finished those chances when we did, like we did, that game could have easily gone sideways. Because you look back on the game against Wolves where we got the red card and how that game went. Had we finished our chances in that first 20 minutes where we were running on them,
Right.
even with the red card, we would have been up by 2-3 goals. So, we could have played more defensive, held out and gotten the W. So it's going to come down to us finishing our chances and then winning the midfield battle. That's going to be vital, of course. And well, the back line, I'm not that worried about the back line, to be honest. Just about almost all the pairings work for me against Burnley. But my thing is, because I know I feel like we're going to get opportunities. But then a team like Burnley, who, when they're ready, can go, like Fever, ultra defensive. This is a game where, like I said, you have to finish your chances. Because it could be a game where we only have maybe 5-6 chances.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have to finish the chances. Have to put them
So
in.
we have to be clinical. We have to be clinical tomorrow is what I'm getting that you're saying.
Definitely.
But when we look at Burnley, I think Chris Wood is back. Chris Wood is back.
Yeah,
And
he
of
is.
course, in earlier shows, Jamal, we've called him Deadwood. Let me not say we. Josh has called him Deadwood.
Deadwood.
Next time you call him a Deadwood, then the man score 2 tomorrow. We're not having that. So other people have called him Deadwood. All right, and we know they pose that threat. They like to go long. So how do we if there's to be a main man for Burnley, who do we think that will be? Because we know they're going to go long for most of the game. How do we combat that?
Yeah.
Let's start with Joe this time.
So how do we combat them going along? It's just about it's about having a balance, really, because even with Arsenal too, a lot of times when we get control of a game and things start going in our favor, we tend to lose discipline. So it's about that they're going to play the long ball. So you don't need a case. I remember there was a game we played, and I think it's a Leeds game, we were dominating. And then Louis started to make darting runs up the field towards goal. I don't care if you're up by 10. You're a centre back. Tap behind it. I don't like to see that. Understand? I'm not about that life. Keep the discipline. So it's going to come down to that. That's going to be a big part of it. Because quite often, you get caught. And then the long ball is a funny thing too. Because let's say Bellerin starts tomorrow. You play a long ball over the top.
Bellerin? Oh boy.
Exactly. See, you're already worried. But let's say a long ball plays over the top tomorrow. You have Chris Wood and Bellerin going for it. Who your money on? Let's be real.
Wood all day long.
Exactly. You understand? It just takes the long ball it's not the most enticing style of play, but it's deadly. Yeah, when done properly, it's deadly.
Right. It could be a big problem for us, and we have in the past that's been one of our Achilles heel.
Yeah,
dealing
that's
with
true.
balls coming in long and stuff like that. I mean I would say before we go to Jamal, I would say I'm looking out for Dwight McNeil.
Yes.
And thinking and how well are we going to stop the crosses in the wide areas going to those big men that they have up top. That's what I think that we will have to look out for.
Apart from big man, what about Vidra?
Vidra as well. That's what I was going to say.
What about Vidra?
Quality.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so those are two good players that we need to look out for as McNeil and Vidra. Don't forget Lee Westwood as well, because he's on his day he can be a
on his day. Yeah.
Yeah. And, teams in the bottom half of the table have this thing of showing up against Arsenal. They turn into prime Real Madrid, prime Barcelona players when they show up against Arsenal. And it's been a problem that we've had for years. I mean, going back to like the Aston Villa 4-4, right? Second half, they just come out and they're not Aston Villa, Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah, the Newcastle 4-4. It's just since then, it's just these teams just don't show any fear when they come to us or when we go to them either. And we're tired of it. You could say that, right? We're tired of
We have to.
we're tired of these teams coming out and showing no fear and playing their football where we need to be expressing our football. So, what you're saying, like we need to combat the long ball. We need to have possession. We need to stop having them playing these long balls. All right. This is the Arsenal goal in which we need to express ourselves. We need to come out and show this is Arsenal. This is not your playground. This is our playground. We come here to win the game.
Whether we home or away.
Yeah, you can try to upset us, but we're gonna play our way. Right? And
we need the old school Arsenal. Sometimes with Arteta, I feel like Arteta gives a lot of these small teams too much
respect.
Too much respect, like too much respect. Because like, come on, you going up big bad Arsenal and you going up. You're part of the legendary top four when you're going up to play against Burnley and playing defensive. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
I know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying that I know that away and home games play a big perspective in it, but there's no fans in the stadium, so it's the same thing, right? They may have more coaches on the bench, but because they're home, but that doesn't mean that we can't exert our football in their stadium.
Right, and Jamal, in terms of quality, we have miles ahead of them.
I agree.
Even our bench, most of our bench players are too big for Burnley.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Jason Moore is back. He's saying that Bellerin is suspect. Moore is saying that Arsenal just have to ensure that they defend set pieces good, and we were alluding to that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Jason Moore is saying again that in order to beat a team like Burnley, you need to be able to have the passes to break them down. If not, the team will get frustrated. And I think tomorrow, Odegaard will be pivotal in how we go forward. And I don't know what Arteta will do, but if we go with Ceballos or we go with Partey, they need to be breaking from deep, making some inner runs or letting, because there's not going to be space in behind. And when we get to the lineup, that's why I didn't go for Aubameyang, because there's not going to be space in behind. And I think Aubameyang will suffer against that style of play. I think he will suffer against that style of play. So that's why I'm going for we need that. We need players like Pepe, and dare I say it, Willian, players like that's a clever on the ball and can take a few players on. That's my opinion. Moore is asking us a question, or he's saying here that Laka seems to be working really good at the top. But he's asking if you're putting Aubameyang back in the squad. Before we go to our lineups, I just want to ask you guys, Emile Smith will be out tomorrow. Is that a big miss, or you think we'll be able to cope?
Who you want to go first?
Let's go, Joe.
Is it a big miss? That's a tricky question, because you can say yes, but you can also say no. Reason being, we have Odegaard, right? The reason why it would be a big miss, because it's clear as day that Smith Rowe has been there forever. He has a lot better chemistry, especially with Saka. Smith Rowe and Saka, they link up pretty well. Smith Rowe linked up well with everybody, to be honest, in the front line, right? Quite often, Odegaard plays some phenomenal passes since he's been here. In the few games he's played some phenomenal passes. However, him and the person ahead of him have not been on the same, wavelength. Because, for example, I remember I think it was against Hold on. It was the Europa League game, was it? I think it was the
Yeah,
last
versus Benfica.
yeah, against Benfica. And there was this play where he got the ball and then I think he played it off to Pepe or one of them, got it back, and then he put a true ball to Aubameyang. It was a perfect true ball. The entire back line was beaten, but Aubameyang went the other way. Right? They're not you can see the
Right.
qualities. He has the ability, but him and a lot of the players quite often are not on the same wavelength. So in that case, yeah, you would say it's a big miss, But other than that, like when it comes down to like Jason said about breaking down breaking down the team, Odegaard will be is more suited to that. Smith Rowe is a number 10, yes, but he's a more unorthodox type of number 10. You can see Odegaard. Odegaard is the raw Ozil-esque kind of number 10, you know? So yeah, yes. So for me, I'd say yes and no. I can't
Yes and
just
no.
say yes, and I can't just say yes. It's a little bit of both.
Jamal, go ahead.
Yeah, I think he will be missed, but like Joe was saying, yes and no.
Yeah, yeah.
It all comes down to that. If the yes is if Odegaard shows up on the day,
Mhm.
if he's getting lost in this the behind the line space and then they're playing a low block and we can't do anything in between those lines, then obviously it becomes a problem. That's where Xhaka and Partey will need to play their part. But yeah, basically yes and no. Back to what you were saying, yes and no.
Do you guys let me stay just on Odegaard for a bit longer. Do you think that he's new to the Premier League and of course he's facing Burnley? Do you think that the physicality would be too much for him tomorrow? We start with Jamal.
Everybody had to deal with physicality coming to the Premier League. We saw Ozil deal with it. He didn't really have a good time with it as well. The pace and the physicality as well. I do think that he will have a problem, but it's all about how we set out to play the game. Because if we set out to play the game in a way where we exert our football and not let them play, then I don't think we will have problems with the physicality. Like I was saying, if they play a low block, he can drop back and then play those passes left, right, deep and long. But then if he's between the line between the defensive line and that defensive midfield line, I do think that can become a problem for him. And it's not only him, but it's a problem for everyone in the Premier League. Teams like Burnley, Fulham, I don't know who else is on the bottom of the table. They all play physically. Yeah, because they need to. They've got nothing else. They can't play, tiki-taka football. They can't play any other type of football. They've got to out-muscle you in order to win the game. And any player will struggle with that, especially a player coming from a league such as the Premier League, in which there's not much contact. There's minimal. That's where players go to. Say,
yeah,
right?
La Liga is more about dribbling and all
Exactly. There's more open play there, so I do think that he will struggle with that sort of thing. But if you manage him well, then I wouldn't be surprised if we see Willian in the attacking midfield role. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Willian.
Oh Lord! Don't do that! Don't do that!
No. Simply because of that physicality aspect, and you're looking at, a young player like Odegaard who's trying to develop, and you're coming up against Burnley where you probably need a win. I'd say we need a win. We need this win in order to go forward in our campaign. If this is a loss, then that's it. I think our league campaign is done. There's no fourth, there's no sixth. Then you might as well just settle for mid-table and fight for the Europa League. But
all right,
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jamal.
No, I'm saying that we need this win, and that's why I wouldn't be surprised if I see Willian in that attack.
Can't deal with that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be surprised.
I need Odegaard in there, but I wouldn't be surprised if Willian goes.
I would be shocked.
Shocked. Moy is asking us here if we think that this is a good game for Pepe to take a good run at the defense, and
Oh yes,
I think so. I think
it's
we
the
need that type of player. I
it's
think
the
we need that type
perfect
of
type
player.
of game.
You,
It's the perfect type of game. Pepe is one of those kind of players that as much as defenders try to be disciplined, Pepe is one of those kind of players that just tempts you to step in, just tempts you to put in your foot.
yeah.
You know, because he's a real good dribbler. He really is. You know, and I mean, like just like us, you know, you play football when you're younger and so on. You know, a guy running you and knock you to a skill move, you know, you not take that, you know. And
Well,
I've seen,
yeah.
yeah, man, I've seen Pepe draw that out of people quite often. You know, you see
I mean,
him
even
one pass.
last week, he was
Yeah,
killing that left back for Leicester.
Yeah. He
yeah.
had him in every ball. Yeah.
Even the last game we played against Manu, there was one time I think when they did the swap of the flanks, and Pepe was running at Luke Shaw. And I say
I mean,
running, he was running at Luke Shaw, in and out, left and right. And Luke Shaw didn't know what to do. But I mean, at the end of the day, he still kept the clean sheet. But you know, yeah, I think it's the perfect game for that. Perfect game.
all right, let's start. Let's get to where I really want us to touch on tonight. We're gonna start with Jamal. We're gonna start with Jamal's predicted lineup for this game. Jamal, when I'm put it off, and you just explain to us your thinking, your rationale behind your team selection. You know what? You'll be Mikel Arteta tomorrow and tell us why you set up this way. You're muted, Jamal.
I was saying before you put up, but you put up already. I was thinking this can't be much different to what everybody else has picked, right? But going off what Joe said, Lacazette probably starts for both of you, but I can't see anything else being much different. Go ahead, put it up, and I'll explain now.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Lacazette, not Lacazette. Aubameyang is banging form at the moment. All right, we could say he's back. Yeah.
Iffy.
We could also say Lacazette is in good form as well.
You could say that, but given the game, given the points at stake here, I would back Aubameyang here. We need 1 or 2 chances to put a goal away, and I'd prefer him over Lacazette, 100%.
Yeah.
With Williams' recent playing.
And Benjamin.
He's got 1 game in which he's on form. I wouldn't pick him to start this game. I'd pick him to come off the bench again. So with this 1 game, I'd definitely pick Pepe over him. Pepe has been more consistent over the time that William has been here. So Pepe on the left, the right has to be Saka. Those 2 are interchangeable, but I do think Saka will start on the right. There's no other option but to start Odegaard through the middle. Although I said earlier we would not be surprised if William starts.
I'm still not entertaining that talk, you know. Go ahead.
But you know, this is the only out-and-out central attacking midfielder we have that is fit. So Odegaard starts for me. Xhaka and Partey, I do not see any other partnership to play this game to exert our dominance. Ceballos could play, but he was suspect last game, and I think Arteta may give him a game to say, look, you need to get your mind right because that back pass was horrible. So get your mind right. I'm going to start Partey this game. You can come on in 75, 80 minutes and get a couple minutes just to gain back some confidence. Tierney, we know, has to start on the left back. Gabriel is a staple in this midfield. I would pick Murray over David Luiz due to the fact that he has been a bit more consistent, and we know David Luiz is always prone to some madness at some point. Although strangely enough, I think it's only happened with high-profile teams or a game where we need to absolutely win. And this is probably one that we need to absolutely win. So I'd pick Murray just to calm the nerves. You know, he will come in there and do a job, no questions asked. I don't think we've had any problems with him in the past. Maybe 1 or 2, but nothing of David Luiz stature. And Cedric definitely over over Bellerin, just because everybody knows why.
Of course.
No need to delve into that.
Okay, so before we get into dissecting Jamal's team, let's just go one time and see let's see Joe's team, and then after we all finish, we'll just all talk about our teams and the differences that we had there. Because Jamal, when I tell you, talk about controversy, this brother here. Look at this. Look at this. And to be fair, it's just a couple I'm questioning.
Yeah, but
just
it's
a couple I'm questioning. Maybe really one. Maybe one. But Joe, you go ahead. You take it away.
So hear me out. Right? Hear me out. Now listen to the breakdown. I see Jamal went with Aubameyang, right? But bearing in mind, we also spoke about the fact that there's probably not going to be any space behind. And Aubameyang thrives off of running into space, right? Aubameyang is not a striker that's really good in tight spaces. And quite often, if Aubameyang is not getting in behind, Aubameyang doesn't affect the game or do anything at all in the game. That is where Lacazette comes in. Lacazette links up play. Lacazette operates well in tight spaces, and Lacazette, he gets other teammates involved. Willian, quite frankly, I'm not a believer, but based on the performances he has given us the last 2 games, I feel like it would be unfair to drop him because, a player catches form, you need to, just let him continue playing himself into form. You don't want to mess with the confidence, especially when we have that big Europa League clash coming up. Pepe, I put Pepe in. Why? Because I feel like Pepe has been dropped on numerous occasions unfairly. Because, he's been performing consistently for the last at least 8 games. And he has been dropped, put back in, dropped, put back in. Saka has played a ridiculous amount of minutes this season. I feel like it's a case where this front three has enough quality to beat Burnley. So it's a case where if we need Saka, it should be us bringing him off the bench if necessary, or some would say vice versa, start Saka and then, get the game over with early and sub him. But I would prefer to do it this way just to be on the safe side, right? Especially because of the physicality. Saka likes to dribble, go out, run at players. You don't want to take the risk. And realistically, if I ask you, who would you prefer to be injured, Saka or Pepe? It's a harsh question.
Injured, bro?
It's a very harsh question. Right? But realistically, of the two, that's how I look at it. Who would you prefer to be injured of the two?
Yeah, at this moment in time, I prefer Pepe to be injured.
Let me just take down this, because I'm not entertaining that. Nobody now get injured. Nobody now get injured by. Last me somebody. Somebody.
We don't want anybody injured, don't get me wrong, but that's also just to show you the way I've been also looking at it as well, right? I don't really want Pepe injured either, because Pepe has been our best player in the Europa League as well, so of course not. And then we have the midfield, right? The midfield, the reason why I dropped Xhaka is because Xhaka is going to be very important in our Europa League fixture. Xhaka has played the most minutes of any Arsenal player. The guy has not gotten a rest. And then when we overwork him and he gets tired now when he goes, let's say we go to Olympiacos and he puts in a stinker, everybody can jump on the man and criticize the man, right?
That's true.
And I feel like a team like Burnley, that's the kind of team where you can experiment with that Ceballos Partey pairing. Partey needs to play based on the fact that he's just got back from injury. He played 20 minutes, then he played, I think, 60-something minutes. And then, so this game, we can give him maybe another 60, 70-something minutes to see, just to make sure everything is all right. Make sure he's good. Going ahead to the Europa League clash. Odegaard, no explaining neither. That goes without saying. Cedric, as far as I'm concerned, Cedric is the only right back Arsenal has.
Stop it.
Well, if we're talking about Cedric and Bellerin, Bellerin is non-existent in my mind anytime it comes to that. Then we have I have David Luiz, and I also have I had David Luiz and I had Mari. Reason why I put in David Luiz is because a team playing against a team like Burnley, physicality is going to be a big thing. There is no centre back in our entire squad that is better with physicality than Luiz. None. Out of all of them, there's none.
Right.
Gabriel, I did not go with Gabriel due to the fact that since coming back for injury, let's be real, Gabriel has been a bit suspect, which is understandable. He's still young. He's just getting back into the squad and whatnot. So, and Mari gives Luiz is you put it this way, Luiz is the hothead of the two centre backs, and Mari is the calm, the one that will bring the calm to the back line. So I think the two of them are a perfect pairing. And then Tierney, I mean, we don't have another option. So unless we're going to put Bellerin to play right back and put Tierney to play left back and put Cedric to play yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Let me just check the comments. Are saying Jamal, he put Aber is back. Still saying yeah, and Skills back again. So finally, Shaq and Jamal agree on views. Josh is saying that he prefers Pepe to be injured over Saka.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. This is my lineup. All right. This is my lineup. And I went, let me start at the back. I went for a Luiz and a Mari pairing, just totally based on merit. Merit from the last game. That I think that they did well together. We got a goal from Luiz, and Mari played very well in my opinion. Of course, we all agreed. We both agreed. Three of us we agreed on Cedric and Tierney as our fullbacks. Going forward, I went with what I think is the best, is one of our strongest lineup going into this game versus Burnley. I use Laka instead of Aubameyang because I don't think there is space in behind, and Aubameyang is poor at hold-up play and bringing others involved. Where I think that where we need to in this kind of game, you need to break the lines. So a ball up to Aubameyang, the ball is coming straight back. Whereas your ball up to Lacazette, he's controlling, he's seeing Saka make a running behind, or he's linking well with Pepe or Odegaard, and there's a nice clever 1-2 here. I don't see Aubameyang giving us that. No, I use Pepe, Saka, and Odegaard because I think they're clever players on the ball. And I mean, I think that this is how we break down Burnley. You pull players out of position, and I think if it's not working, if the tiki-taka one-touch passing is not working, we have to rely tomorrow on individual brilliance. And when I think about individual brilliance on the ball, I think about Pepe, I think about Saka. We all know what they can do. I went with Partey and Xhaka because for me, Xhaka right now is undroppable. Unless he's dead, you play Xhaka. Unless he's dead, you play Xhaka. And Xhaka does that. Joe said so. He's been heavily criticized, and I would say wrongly. I would definitely say he's been criticized wrongfully.
Yeah, 100%.
But then we look at Partey. I say let's give Partey some minutes. And I'm saying right now, that I want this game to be done by the 55th minute.
But halftime. It should be
right, Jamal. That's good too. I'm saying that if we can have Leeds performance in the first half, and even Wolves too, minus the red card and the referee and them had an agenda. Yeah. We need that kind of performance. Let them get a good jump at it, 2-3 goals, like our first 3 chances. I'm expecting us to have at least 2 goals. Although they have a really good goalkeeper, I'm saying that let's attack these guys because we can, and we have the individual quality to break this team down, and then let's think about Olympiacos after 60 minutes. I don't want us to start. Give me a second. I'm finished. I don't want us to start with a second string kind of attack, and then say, you know what? Let's build. Let's see if this doesn't work. Let's go. No, bang them, and then we pull off these players and rest them.
True.
That's what we basically did against Southampton. We started with a second string attack, and then when we realized how it was going, we ended up bringing in the big dogs. So
Big dog.
I understand where you're coming from. But I just wanted to point out that none of them man give Willian that one.
I understand. No, okay. I'm saying on merit, right? I said I pick David Luiz and Mari based on merit. Willian for me, okay. I think that Willian and Pepe can give me the same thing, but I think that Pepe will give me just a bit more at this stage right now than Willian currently. Willian, if he gets fit tomorrow and he proves me wrong, I'll come back here and I'll say, hey, fair play to Willian.
Yeah, fair enough. But I also believe that they will be playing. I believe all of us are going to get our centre back pairing wrong, and I believe the centre back pairing tomorrow will be Holden and Mari, which to be honest has been the best pairing of the season.
I think Gabriel is going to come in.
No, true, possible.
Josh is saying here, no Holden is the best pure defender after Gabriel on the team.
Which Joe has just
Jamal? That's what you say?
Holding, he has been. He's put in monumentous performances throughout the season so far.
Right, but hear me out on this point, Josh, and I agree with you, and I hear you. But I don't think that we're going to be under that much pressure to defend tomorrow, and that's why that's another reason why I put David Luiz in.
But when do you put Holding in? Because you're not going to put him in against Benfica then if he doesn't play this weekend. That's 2 weekends he hasn't played.
Yeah, that's true.
He's still come back from that concussion thing there.
Yeah, he's good. He's supposed to be good now.
I do know. When we played Olympiacos last year, they're a physical team as well.
Okay, but
maybe we can look to put him in there.
Here's a slight issue I have as well: is that when players either go out injured or concussed, Arteta doesn't bring them back in when they're fit. He doesn't even.
You're right. They usually end up out of the squad for a few weeks.
You end up out of the squad until someone else is injured in that position, and then you have to come in again. Look at Gabriel. When did Gabriel get his chance again? Is when 2 centre backs were injured, and he had to come in because we had no money.
So don't you think, guys, that you should work back for that spot? Because if you put me in, and I'm doing my job, like, okay, perfect, because I think Gabriel got a red card just before the Chelsea game on Boxing Day. And that's when we put Mari and Holden there. Mari had a really good game. So I just don't think you could just take out Mari. I don't think it messed with the mind.
No, it does. And that's why I was going to bring it back to your view, is which you play the next game on merit, in which you play one game good, you get to play the next game until you make a mistake. Yeah. So that's why I also feel that Ceballos will not be a part of this team because of that mistake in the last game.
Well, it was the game before, because remember it was the Europa League game, and he didn't play the last game.
He didn't play.
He didn't play the last game.
Until one of those central midfielders picks up an injury, and we say, okay, we need Ceballos to come in. I don't think he'll feature in that team as a starting figure. He may come in for the last 10 minutes, last 5 minutes or so, but he will not come in to play a major part in the game, unless say we're 2-0 and we need a change.
We need a change,
but Jamal, then, just to be clear,
looking at that.
I was saying,
looking at that also. Then, I was saying, looking at that also too. If it's a case where now that's what is going to be with Ceballos, I also feel that then that's a clear sign that we have no intentions of making him a permanent player.
I disagree. I disagree. No, it's not with him alone. It's with everybody else in the team. If you don't perform, then you don't get a chance to prove yourself again until there is a chance for you to prove yourself again. If you get what I'm saying.
But I just wanted to know, Jamal, you're disagreeing with that?
I'm disagreeing with what Joe said in the sense that he was saying that What did you say again with Ceballos?
I was saying that basically if it's a case where let's say Ceballos doesn't finish for like 10 minutes and so on for like let's say the next 5-6 games, then that's basically to me a clear sign that we're not necessarily we don't necessarily have any plans of keeping him permanently.
No, I think that he made one mistake, but his head
No,
is
no, no,
not.
no, no, not one, two.
Two mistakes.
Two.
All right.
Could you
He
really,
gave away the
could you really call that a mistake? I mean, he tried winning the ball, he just got it wrong, and the
Yeah.
man scored a brilliant free kick. I think we're being harsh. Those of us who think like that, Joe, that giving
Mhm.
away that free kick is really a mistake. I think that's a bit harsh
No,
on Ceballos.
Chuck, he's a professional footballer. I am
So
not a professional footballer,
no, but
and I
we
know,
see better players
I
miss
know.
time tackles too.
Yeah, but I'm saying I am not a professional footballer, and I know that you do not give away free kicks in those areas, right? And bearing in mind, right, him backing off, right? Because
Mm,
remember the reason why they got the ball and were going in that position was because of him, no? And
mm.
then he made a rash challenge, no? So anyhow you look at it, it was still Ceballos' fault. And if
Hey,
it's one thing, you give them anybody from Portugal, you give them free kick. You don't do that. You don't
But
give them free kicks.
he's
I
still
hear you.
he's still a developing player, but I do see where you're coming from, and I'd call it 50-50 at the moment. You know, I changed my view on us keeping him, but I'll call it 50-50. If
I
no,
give you
no, wait.
quality, Jamal.
Let me finish. Let me finish. If we get our, I don't see Ceballos staying.
No, me neither, 100%. And if we
All
get our, I don't want Ceballos. Not I don't see him. I don't want him.
Okay, so let me ask you: do you want Aouar over Ceballos?
Over, yes,
100%.
100%.
100%.
He's more of a player than Ceballos at the moment. Okay, I agree with that.
Okay,
And I don't know if
Our gives you the same thing that Ceballos gives you in the midfield, right?
more.
He runs back, he defends, and he gives you way more on the attacking end than what Ceballos gives you. So
And-
when it comes to that, yeah.
And our is younger. Our is 2 years younger.
Yeah, that as well.
all right, guys. The last thing we want to do before we go is give me your prediction. Give me your predictions going into the game. I mean, I guess next week we can talk about the Europa League game. Just give me a prediction for the game tomorrow.
Oh, the
Let's
same as
let's start
yesterday.
with you.
3-1.
3-1.
I'd go with 3-0,
I'd go with 3-0 too.
regardless of whoever starts up
Me
top.
don't know how Jordan man last scoop and all that.
You're both going for a clean sheet. No,
If
here's
we
the thing.
tomorrow, Joe, hear me out. If we don't concede, if after 10 minutes and we haven't conceded a goal, clean sheet.
Yeah, I'm telling you this now. I'm not.
No, that is my problem. I see the goal scoring, right? I see the goal scoring closer to maybe the end of the game. You see, if we dominate the game, right? If we
Okay.
dominate the game and we take control of the game, I see the goal scoring at closer to the end of the game because it is in Arsenal's DNA to lock off at a particular time. They do
Right.
it every
You're right,
single
Joe.
game.
You're right. You're right.
Arsenal team. And all it takes is one set piece, one cross into the box, just one chance. That's all it takes. One chance. All it takes. And then Burnley is a team that presses very strangely when they're ready. And all it takes is for us to get overconfident and Lino and David Luiz decide they want to have a pass off behind there. And that's it. That's it.
Joe,
Misses,
that
the
one,
misses.
you're having a Memphis moment there. You're having a Memphis moment. We say here, Josh is asking a question.
Yeah. What is?
Let's do this question. What does Ceballos give? And he
Okay.
says, sounds like nothing according to Joe.
No.
So Jamal, you take first dibs at it, and
I'll
then
go.
we go to.
He doesn't give me nothing, right? You see how there's a contrast between him and Shaka. So Shaka will play that long ball over the top, and you will not see Shaka playing a short ball that goes anywhere. He played a short ball, but it comes back to him and he goes over the top again. But Ceballos is that link between midfield and the central attacking midfielders or the striker. He'll dribble that ball and he'll go forward with it. So that's what Ceballos gives. He gives that different dimension than the long ball over the top.
All right. Before Nesta, good night. Big up yourself. Thanks for joining us.
Good night,
just about
fellas.
to
Good night.
finish.
Everybody can hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
we-
you
Yeah.
good. You're
Hey,
loud
man.
and clear.
Nice, nice.
We about to finish, but right now we're discussing Nestor, Ceballos. We're asking Ceballos have any worth at all at Arsenal. Should we keep him
I'm-
come the summer?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a fan of Ceballos, you know. I think Ceballos. It's kind of weird to say what he brings, but when you look at him, that this is his second season in the Premier League, you know, and coming from a different league, you know, compared to like Xhaka that been with us for so much years, and he haven't like elevated us that much because ever since Xhaka came to us, we haven't been back in the Champions League. You know, I'm not putting all that on him, but with Danny Ceballos, you know, he's just coming. He's still, you know, Danny Ceballos is
Beef,
still
you're
trying
coming
to
some
find
fire,
his
man. You're coming some fire. I mean,
feet. No,
killing
you know, we
me.
just keep it honest, you know.
Okay, Joe. Josh said that it sound like you're saying that Ceballos is nothing. Tell us.
No, that is the thing, right? So that's the thing, and I understand. I'm not saying that Ceballos isn't anything, but it was just a case where we're talking about our versus Ceballos. If I have to choose between the two, I am definitely picking
Our. Of course.
our. It goes without saying. There's no doubt about it. But I'm not saying that he doesn't bring anything to the team. And part of the reason why I think Ceballos was better his first season at Arsenal than he has been this second season. But a big part of that is also because of the fact of the lack of game time. He hasn't been getting much game time, right? So it's not a case where I'm saying, you know, I'm against us signing Ceballos permanently and whatnot. But since Arteta has come here, you've convinced him to come back on a second loan. But then you've hardly used him. So then the way I look at it, it doesn't seem like you have him as a part of your ultimate plan. So then why keep him?
Right.
Ceballos is a talented player. Ceballos is a very talented player. And like I said, Ceballos is basically, you can say more or less like a Xhaka 2.0, right? Because while Xhaka doesn't really offer you anything on the attacking end often, Ceballos gives you something on both. Ceballos is that player who will run back and do the dirty work. And, you know, he will be that person making that last-ditch tackle that saves us. But then Ceballos will also be that person up top breaking down the back line and playing that perfect pass. For example, remember that pass he played to Bellerin against Leeds? That pass was phenomenal, right?
It was.
It was
It
an
was.
amazing pass.
He's had other instances like that too. That's why I'm a big admirer of Ceballos. Mo is asking us a question here. Who would you prefer to keep permanently, Ceballos or Odegaard? Or just let the two go and buy another midfielder?
I would say Odegaard for sure, man.
Odegaard for Nesta. Everybody say Odegaard?
Yeah,
but to be honest, in that central pivot, you know, like at the end of the day, we need a squad. And I'm not saying Ceballos is the answer to all of our problems, but I think that he can be a good squad player because you know you need a squad, and I feel like whenever he step in, he can do a job. You know, and
but
I'm a big fan of him.
I don't think I believe, and that's why I think the problem will be, which is why I'm saying if he's not going to be part of the main squad, right? Part of the main plan, he needs to leave. Ceballos doesn't want to be a squad player. Ceballos wants to be a starter at this age, this point in your career. You know what I mean? Nobody.
No, but is he good enough to be a starter? Is the next question that would come.
Well, that is the question, but then we can also say that he has not been given enough opportunity to show us if he is or if he isn't.
Okay. That's true. That's true.
All right, guys, we have another question here. Josh is asking, yeah, but what guarantees do you have that Aouar will fit the system? Ceballos, Spanish League, Aouar, Farmers League. Let's go, Lester. Let's hear from you first.
What is Farmers League?
Well, you know, a lot of players take time to adapt into a league, you know, and if you think about it, Ceballos is coming from a better team, even though he didn't play that much in Spain, but Aouar can come in and we can have the same issues with Aouar. Maybe he might not settle in and stuff like that because it's Arsenal and the English league is different, but Ceballos showed that he can put in a shift. But no matter how good we think Awa is, we don't know what he's going to bring to the table. Because you have to come and prove it. You have to come and prove it in the Premier League. Look at I know midfield strike is different, but Lacazette was banging 20, 30 goals per season. He come to Arsenal and he haven't hit them heights. So everything you do in the French league, you come to the Premier League, it kind of it's less stats than what you would have in the Premier League.
Right, it's a level up, it's a step up. Jamal, you want to take a crack at this?
Well, that's why we call it the best league in the world. You got to elevate your performances in order to be, the best in the world. And it's a struggle for any player. I don't know if you look at any player has struggled, except for maybe Bruno Fernandes, right? He's coming and
yeah, he came in on it. He
came in and hit the ball rolling. But any player in the look at Timo Werner. Timo Werner was a top striker in the German league.
Yeah, I can't
even buy a goal in the Premier League at the moment, right? So
I need Timo.
and Jamal, to be fair, that's not for a lack of chances.
No, it's not, and that's what I'm saying. It's not down on it's not down on the team effort. It's not down on anything else but the individual player. So Nestor was saying, yes, he might come in and not hit the heights that he's been hitting in the Farmers League, the League 1. But but you never know, right? So it's the gamble that you got to take. Right now, I would say that if they quote us anything over 20 million for Odegaard, I wouldn't even jump at it. And the same for Ceballos as well. Anything over 20 million is iffy.
20?
Anything over
I'd put a 25 mil max. 25. Yeah, I'd say 25. Anything over 25. Yeah.
You're also looking at a COVID market, right? In which everybody's down. The whole market is down. Players' values are down. So yes, 25 million for either of them, I would not take it because that's a gamble. That's a risk.
Yeah, but you see with Odegaard, I can understand it for Odegaard because you're also paying. You're not just paying for the player at this time. You're also playing for the player's potential. That's how they sell your player. That's why Jadon Sancho was so expensive when Manchester United wanted him.
True, but Jadon Sancho is also hitting numbers over in Germany. Odegaard hasn't played in 6 months for Real Madrid. So that's what you're looking at.
True.
Let me ask you this, and we want to touch on two more things, and then we're going to get Nestor's prediction, and we'll run through his lineup quickly before we close. But I want to ask Joe this. Jamal just said, elevate yourself. Yeah, when you come to the Premier League, you have to elevate yourself. So I guess the question that we need to ask is, who do we think could elevate themselves more between Ceballos and Aouar, or Ceballos and Odegaard? This is Ceballos and Odegaard.
Ceballos and Odegaard, definitely. Well, I'd say, I'd say Odegaard, definitely. Because you see, Odegaard is a talented player. You've been at Real Madrid for forever. You haven't been getting consistent game time. You went to Real Sociedad. You popped off over there. They called you back. You went. Still, Odegaard is looking for a team now where he can, at his age now, show what he can do, and finally get into a team where he's of value. Ceballos, I feel like Ceballos is on his second season with us. Like, if I ask all of you, when you heard that we were bringing in Danny Ceballos, the expectation that you had in your head when you heard that, has he reached that for any of you?
No. And it's the same with the other Spanish midfielder that we had the year before. Who was that guy?
From Barca.
Exactly. It was the same. Had him hitting heights and heights and heights. But he hasn't hit it. None of them have hit it. Both of them.
Yeah, and I feel like Odegaard has showed. I feel like Odegaard has showed more potential as to what he will get to than Ceballos has shown in his 2 seasons at Arsenal. In the short time, I feel like Odegaard has shown more. Honestly speaking.
Beef, do you agree with this comment from Josh? 50 million is a bargain for Odegaard, because I'm thinking that we're not paying less than 50 for him.
No,
so Beef, what do you think?
I wouldn't agree to spend 50 on him, to be honest. I think that would be too much for him.
Yeah, 100%.
True.
50 mil.
Might as well get somebody that's already proven.
50
If
mil
it's spending
for both of them is a bargain.
If it's 50 for both of them, I'm still
Exactly.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna probably kind of be against it too, because my ideal midfielder I would like to see in Arsenal midfield, to be honest, is Bissouma. You know, and you know, so it's like,
That's a good one.
so it's like, why would we spend 25 on Ceballos when we can go and give, Brighton 18 to 20 mil for Bissouma? Premier League proven, a beast in midfield, So
Yes.
it would be hard, but 50 mil, no.
I agree with that.
Okay. All right, Beef. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Beef, just run through. I think my internet is killing me right now. Beef, run through with us your predicted lineup for tomorrow, and then give us the prediction, and then we close.
Yes. Simon never get to send that to you, but basically, Leno, same formation, the 4-2-3-1. Leno in goal. I know a lot of people been talking about the resting players and stuff, but we had a week off, and we can't afford to be. I'm gonna be honest, it still can get maximum points in the Premier League. So we should be taking every game serious. So I will go with Cedric right back, Tierney left back. Bellerin out. Going against Burnley, a very aggressive team. My centre pairing will probably be like a Pablo Mari and David Luiz.
Okay.
Either I know you're not gonna play Murray and Gabriel, so it's either Luiz and Murray or Luiz and Gabriel. My midfield, I'm gonna go with Xhaka and Partey.
Okay.
My number 10, obviously Odegaard, because Emil is out. Saka come back in on the right for me, because he had a rest and then he had a week off. And on the left, I'm gonna go with Pepe on the left. I don't know why we went back with him on the right. I think he's been doing a great job on the left.
Yeah.
I know people will argue for Willian, but I would say Pepe on the left. So Pepe left, Saka right. And up top, it's a kind of sketchy one. I know Burnley most likely gonna play deep, so it's kind of difficult. But I would probably go with Lacazette, just for the link-up play, with Odegaard and Saka and stuff. A lot of 1-2s and stuff. So I would go with Lacazette up top just for this game.
I think you and Shaq had the exact
Same, yeah.
team. They had the exact same team. Yeah.
Okay. So Beef, what are your prediction scoreline?
Oh man, we haven't beat these guys. I'm scared of them doing the double over us in like 50, 80 years or so. But I'm confident. I'm not going to predict a loss against us. If we go and we on it, I can see us winning the game 3-1. 3-4-1.
3-1. I said the same thing. So these two went 3-0.
I'm going for.
We both went 3-1. I see a goal scoring.
Yeah, we have to give up the normal one.
I'm hoping that tomorrow is a change. But guys, thanks a lot for joining me tonight. We come back again. Hopefully we come back again next week and we keep talking about Arsenal. Hopefully when we're back here, we can rejoice from a Burnley win and an impressive first leg win when we go to when we play Olympiacos.
We go back to
so let's see. Let's see what happens, guys. Thanks for coming in, Joe, Jamal, Nestor. We work out the time because I don't think I remember telling him that there's a time difference between us.
We realized that one.
Right, so that messed us up a bit. But we'll start it off for next time and we'll come back again. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.